Wipe the slate clean. Don't listen to hype, listen to best practices, listen to case studies. Everyone always wants an easy button, and there is no easy button here. You just have to do really good marketing and do good brand building, and you'll do fine. Just generating thousands of articles and dumping it onto a website, that's not gonna work here. I can tell you from experience, 20 plus years experience, if you do things the right way and you live within that box that has been drawn for us, you will do much better than if you try to game the system. You'll wind up spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and you'll wind up inheriting a lot of heartache when all of that work goes down the toilet after you take a shortcut and then it's found out and nerfed instead of just doing things the right way and thinking long term. It's not that you didn't have good ideas in there, you probably did, but you probably just created it the wrong way. Hey everyone, Pat Reinhart here from Conductor, and today we are talking about gamification of AEO and what you should and should not do. There's a lot of sites out there that have been penalized for doing, like the listicles, like self-serving listicles, and also sharing listicles between friendlies in the same industry, which is basically guest blogging. All of those sites have been nerfed. I have not seen any data where like backlinks or linking to other things is really helping or hurting anyone in AI. But what is certainly hurting people is folks that are just querying, like OpenAI's like API and just generating thousands of articles and dumping it onto a website. That's not gonna work here, right? Like that's simply not gonna work here. And we've already seen brands that have gotten in trouble for this, especially with the self-serving listicles, especially with, sharing listicles between brands. Again, everyone always wants an easy button, and that's just one example. Like the listicle thing is just an example. Everyone always wants an easy button, and there is no easy button here. You just have to do really good marketing and do good brand building, and you'll do fine.
What tactics would you recommend folks focus on as alternatives to these gamified tactics?
Yeah, I mean, again, like this is gonna be a really boring answer, but it's the same thing that you've always done for traditional SEO campaigns. Create great content that connects for users, that answers their questions, solves their problems, and they'll come back. Yes, you will get less traffic, but you'll get more high quality traffic because yes, people are getting their answers quicker and they're asking multiple questions within one prompt, right? So they're gonna get their answers quicker and they'll probably find your brand quicker. You'll just have less noise to worry about, right? It'll be more high intent and high quality traffic coming. So I think from that perspective, that's kind of where I stand on that. Again, it's not a sexy answer. Like you need a technically healthy site. Like bots need to be able to get to your site. Accessibility is huge. You need to create good content, and you need to be focused on the user, right? Understand your personas. Understand the intents of those personas. Do you have content where those two things converge? If the answer is yes, you have a good shot at getting those eyeballs.
Do you see any of these tactics as being particularly destructive / short-sighted? What's one thing folks should 100% ignore?
People should ignore shiny objects. So in this industry, we're prone to shiny object syndrome, right? Like there's, some analysis that comes out or there's some tool that is built and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go and get that. I'm gonna push a few buttons in the right order. And then ultimately, like everything's just gonna magically happen. And that's just not how this stuff works, right? It's a process. You have to build process at your organization. You have to educate folks so that they understand why you're doing these things. And ultimately, the best programs are mechanical. I've said this, of course, over my whole career, that if you build a program that has these things built into a process so that they almost become unconscious, they're happening just in normal day-to-day workflows, that is where you'll see some magic happen. Not by, again, looking for an easy button that you can press. It just never works. It always works against you when you go in that direction.
Why would Blackhat SEO tactics still matter in AEO? Aren't the rules for AI search different?
No, I mean, it depends what you're talking about, right? Because take Blackhat, Blackhat SEOs, they created a bunch of spam content for years, like decades. That's what Google's been fighting against, right? Like using spun content and, content generators, to do that. That does not work in AI either, right? There really is no tactic right now from a Blackhat standpoint when you think in a traditional sense that is going to help you from an AI visibility perspective. Maybe in the very, very short term, but AI moves so quickly and advances so quickly. Every time someone comes up with a new thing, it's nerfed within a few weeks, right? It's not like, hey, this is gonna work for 2 years and then Google will catch up, the algorithm will catch up. That's not how this works. These models are moving so quickly and advancing so quickly that it's not worth the time. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze.
Since my content doesn't rank anymore in search, what do I have to fear from gamifying AEO?
Yeah, so number one, your content does rank in search in Google, which is still where the majority of your traffic is coming from, and more than likely will continue in the near term. If you're thinking longer term, there are no rankings in LLMs, but ultimately what you have to start thinking about is, okay, traditional search, that's still important, right? Like we still have to think about that. And I do rank here, and that will change, right? Like that interface will change when Google might shift it over to AI mode, maybe someday. But technically right now, you still rank places, right? So you gotta pay attention to that. From an AI perspective, you have to stop thinking of rankings and you have to start thinking of what is your market share for a particular topic that is important to your brand, product, or service. If you start to think about that, you're like, okay, rankings is traditional search. What AI search is about, from a visibility standpoint, is market share of voice. Like I am in pool repair, right? I want my company to appear for people asking questions around pool repair. That is one topic that you have a particular market share in. And then underneath that main topic, there's many other things, right? There is, liners, there's, liner damage, there is filters, there's pumps, there's, salt water, chlorine. I have a pool, you could probably tell that. But ultimately, you have to start thinking of them as two different channels. Everyone is thinking of them as one channel. They're not. They're two different channels. One is about ranking and one is about share of voice within a particular topic. And when you start thinking about it that way, it will become very clear to you what you need to do to start to increase your share of voice in AI.
How can I be penalized if rankings and traffic aren't important anymore?
You can be penalized by doing the wrong things, right? Like, again, like that's where like AI slop comes into it, whether that is videos, whether that is content, whether that is images. If you're just, if you create an agent and it is just spitting out garbage and you're putting it on your site, that is how you will be penalized. AI will pick up on that. And ultimately, I believe all of this stuff is going to be watermarked, right? And you have to understand that there's going to be certain things that AI is going to recognize over time as it gets better and better. So again, it comes back to creating content that is made for your user. And again, there's nothing wrong with writing the content with AI, but you have to put good into it to get good out of it. And I think a lot of people are misguided right now about how they're creating content, and that's why you start to see these sites start to get really attacked when, a model shifts or, because it's not like there's no algorithm updates, there's model updates, right? But the model is changing all the time.
Are ethical AEO and ethical SEO the same thing? What are the differences, if any?
Yeah, I think they are the same thing because it's really just about doing things right. Ethical SEO was what? Having a sound technical foundation and creating content for your user and not trying to game the system. Ethical AEO is pretty much the same thing, right? It's like having a sound technical foundation and creating content for your user that, so that people can find you in an ethical way, right? Again, like anything that is, if you feel that you are trying to game the system, or you feel like, hey, I heard this tip and this person is doing this thing that really like no one in the wider industry is doing, that's probably on the gray or black hat side of the fence. I can tell you from experience, 20 plus years experience, if you do things the right way and you live within that box that has been drawn for us, you will do much better than if you try to game the system. You'll wind up spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and you'll wind up inheriting a lot of heartache when all of that work goes down the toilet after you take a shortcut and then it's found out and nerfed instead of just doing things the right way and thinking long term. SEO and AEO are a long-term play. It's a brand building play, it's an authority play. You have to think long term, can't think short term. If you think short term, that's where people make mistakes.
All right, and how can folks start to improve their AEO after gamifying it and losing?
So number one, get rid of anything that you feel is garbage, right? Like what did you build? Like if you tried to gamify by creating a lot of AI slop content, you got to get rid of it, right? At least wipe the slate clean and then start over. It's not that you didn't have good ideas in there, you probably did, but you probably just created it the wrong way, right? Also, if you are putting in things that are unproven, like markdown files, like versions of your site, and then putting that behind the pages or basically cloaking a different version of your site, get rid of that. There is no evidence that is helpful to LLMs. LLMs can crawl and read HTML. Like we've heard this from Google, we've heard this from Bing, doubling, it's like all you're doing is doubling your crawl load by doing something like that. And again, that's one of those shiny objects that people are getting drawn in by. Oh, wow, I need a markdown version so that LLMs can read my site better. LLMs can read your site fine, right? Make sure your site's accessible and you'll be fine. Again, don't follow trends, don't follow shiny objects. Just do the right things, follow best practices. You will do much better in the long term. Even if you see a short-term gain, I promise you, you will get, you will get nerfed at some point. And so basically, just wipe the slate clean. Don't listen to hype. Listen to best practices. Listen to case studies, and follow that path. You'll do a lot better. You'll sleep better at night.